These are the White Cliffs of Dover. There's nothing more symbolic of Great Britain, but what sits on top of the cliffs is what made this place so important. This is Dover Castle. It's the largest and one of the best preserved medieval castles in the United Kingdom. It overlooks the town and the Straits of Dover on the English Channel. France is only 21 miles or 33 kilometers away and can be seen on a clear day. The entire castle complex is now managed by English Heritage and is open to visitors. The castle was built by King Henry II in the 1180s, but it's had a strategic significance well before that. There have been fortifications on the cliffs since before the Bronze Age. The Romans occupied the cliffs when Julius Caesar invaded Britain in the year 54 BC. They built a camp and a lighthouse on the cliffs, which still stands today. The Romans were forced to leave Britain in 410 AD to defend other parts of the empire against invading barbarians. This opened the door to Anglo-Saxon invaders. They built the Church of St. Mary around the year 1000 beside the lighthouse. The church fell into ruin and was actually used for a time to store coal. St. Mary's was beautifully restored in 1862 and served as the garrison church for troops stationed at the castle. King Henry's castle was built a little over 100 years after the Norman conquest of 1066. The four-story building and defensive fortifications were designed to intimidate and impress. The king not only wanted state-of-the-art defenses, he wanted a palace where he and his court could be comfortable and could meet and greet royal visitors from abroad. Because of its location, Dover was a natural invasion route. The French laid siege to the castle in 1216 and 1217. At one point, they dug a tunnel under the main gate, causing a portion to collapse, but castle defenders were able to beat them back. The castle is decorated as it might have looked when King Henry was in residence. A small military museum on the ground gives visitors a look at the role the military played in time of war and peace. The last active-duty military units to be stationed here were withdrawn in 1958. Dover Castle played a major role during the Second World War. As fears of Nazi invasion grew, the castle was made a regional command center under the command of Rear Admiral Sir Bertram Ramsay. Tunnels built into the cliffs were expanded to accommodate up to 2,000 troops. Command and control facilities were added, and an underground hospital was built. Both tunnel complexes are popular places for visitors to tour. Dover Castle's finest hour came in the early days of World War II, when British expeditionary forces were forced to retreat to the beaches of Dunkirk on the French side of the Channel. They appeared to be doomed, but Ramsay and Prime Minister Winston Churchill devised an evacuation plan. From May 26 to June 4, 1940, a fleet of small, shallow-draft boats from England were used to rescue 338,000 troops, about a third of them French. It became known as the Miracle of Dunkirk. Initially, they thought the entire force would be forced to surrender. At best, they were hoping to be able to get 30,000 safely back to England. Had that happened, it's very likely the war could have been lost in 1940. Dover is still the main ferry crossing point to Europe, and it's become a major cruise ship terminal. It's estimated that each year 16 million passengers pass through Dover. The town, the castle, and of course the cliffs are a great place to visit, and prove once again that travel is one of the few things we can buy that will make us richer.